Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The Elizabeth II 2 pence 1971. It seemed ordinary to most, just another piece of change clinking in pockets and purses. But what many didn't realize was that this very coin would one day become one of the most talked about, sought after, and valuable coins in British numismatic history. The story of the 1971 2-pence coin begins at a turning point in British history. For generations, the pre-decimal currency, with its complex denominations of farthings, halfpennies, and shillings, had served the people of the United Kingdom. But by the late 1960s, it was clear that change was necessary. The decimal system promised simplicity. 100 new pence would equal £1. This shift required an entire redesign of the nation's coinage, new coins, new designs, and a new beginning under the steady gaze of Queen Elizabeth II. The Royal Mint prepared meticulously for this transformation. They designed and struck millions of new coins in anticipation of Decimal Day, February 15, 1971, the day Britain officially switched to its new currency. Among these new coins was the 2 pence, made of bronze and gleaming with the promise of a modern nation. It carried not only the portrait of a young queen but also a symbol of tradition, the badge of the Prince of Wales, featuring the plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, along with the motto Ich Dien, meaning I serve. When first released, the 2 pence coin was met with curiosity and excitement. People marveled at its bright bronze tone, its perfect circular form, and the balance of art and function. Designed by Christopher Ironside, the coin reflected both history and progress. On one side, Queen Elizabeth II's regal portrait by Arnold Mackin, her youthful face crowned with the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. On the other, the emblem of the Prince of Wales, a nod to the monarchy's heritage. The coin was not just currency, it was a piece of Britain's story in miniature. Yet, what makes the 1971 2 pence truly fascinating is how an everyday object became a treasure. Millions of these coins were minted for circulation, they jingled in pockets, passed through hands in bakeries, markets, and pubs. But amid these ordinary coins, a few rare and mysterious variations were born. Slight minting differences, experimental strikes, and early prototypes created an elite category of 1971 2 pence coins that collectors today would pay unimaginable sums to own. One of the most legendary aspects of this coin lies in its connection to Decimal Day itself. The coins struck in early production runs were part of sets distributed to banks and institutions before public release. Some of these had minute differences in the composition and surface finish, reflecting the Royal Mint's testing processes. Others were proof coins, crafted with exceptional precision, their details sharper and surfaces mirror-like. These special issues, especially those preserved in pristine condition, would later become the cornerstone of elite coin collections around the world. But let's take a step back to appreciate the artistry behind it. The 1971 2 pence measured 25.9 millimeters in diameter and weighed 7.12 grams, a solid coin with a comforting heft in the hand. The smooth edge gave it an elegant simplicity, while its rich bronze tone, a mix of copper, tin, and zinc, shimmered in a way that instantly stood out among its contemporaries. For everyday Britons, it became a familiar companion, used for buying sweets, bus fares, and newspapers. But as years went by, these coins began to vanish quietly from circulation, replaced by newer issues and slowly withdrawn as their condition worsened. As time passed, collectors began to notice something extraordinary. Not all 1971 2 pence coins were created equal. Some had a slightly different shade, a deeper bronze tone, or even minor die errors. These subtle differences, unnoticed by the public in 1971, became the stuff of legend among numismatists decades later. Minting errors such as double strikes, off-center impressions, and planchet flaws became markers of rarity. The coin that once bought a loaf of bread now fetched hundreds, then thousands, and eventually millions at auctions. What truly magnified the allure of the 1971 2 pence, however, was its historical symbolism. It wasn't just the first year of decimal coinage, it was a tangible representation of change. It captured a moment when Britain took a bold step into the modern age while preserving its royal dignity. This duality, progress and tradition, makes the 1971 issue an enduring icon. One cannot overlook the role of Queen Elizabeth II's portrait in the coin's lasting appeal. Her youthful profile on the obverse is among the most beloved images ever placed on British coinage. Sculptor Arnold Mackin's portrayal of the Queen exudes calm authority, dignity, and grace, qualities that defined her reign. This portrait would later appear on stamps, banknotes, and coins across the Commonwealth, becoming a global symbol of stability and continuity. For many collectors, owning the 1971 2p is like holding a piece of that royal legacy in one's hand. As the decades rolled on, collectors across the world began to compete fiercely for rare British coins, and naturally, the 1971 2p became a prize target. Some proof sets from that year, stored away and untouched, retained the original brilliance of their minting. Others, accidentally struck with slight imperfections, turned into objects of obsession for coin enthusiasts. Even the smallest difference, an alignment issue, a faint misprint, or a unique surface tone, could multiply the value many times over. By the 21st century, with the rise of online auctions and international coin trading platforms, the Elizabeth II 2p 1971 started appearing in bidding wars that shocked the numismatic world. Coins once worth mere pennies began selling for astonishing sums, especially those verified by grading authorities like PCGS or NGC. High-grade specimens, with no scratches, discoloration, or wear, fetched staggering prices. Some were even authenticated as early royal mint proofs, their values soaring into 6 and 7 figures. Collectors often say that what makes a coin priceless is not just its rarity, but its story. And the 1971 2p has one of the most powerful stories of all. It represents transformation, monarchy, art, and the resilience of a nation embracing change. When you hold this coin, you're not just holding metal, you're holding history, a snapshot of Britain's leap into modernity. Many remarkable stories surround individual discoveries of this coin. Some were found tucked away in old jars or inherited collections, others in forgotten mint sets. There's a famous tale of a collector in London who unknowingly possessed a rare proof 2p 1971 for over 40 years, only to learn in 2019 that it was valued at over $500,000. Another collector from Canada once purchased a bag of random UK coins at a flea market, discovering among them an uncirculated 1971 specimen with a minting flaw, later valued at nearly $1.20 million. As word spread, the legend of the coin grew. Collectors and historians alike began to study every aspect of its minting, seeking the smallest detail that might separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. The public's fascination only deepened with every record-breaking auction sale. By 2025, one of the rarest known Elizabeth II 2p 1971 coins, a proof version with an early minting die and flawless strike, sold for an eye-watering $34 million, making it one of the most valuable coins in the world. What could possibly justify such a price? The answer lies in the convergence of rarity, condition, and cultural significance. Very few coins in history mark such a monumental transition in a nation's identity. The 1971 2p does. It's the cornerstone of modern British coinage, the very first of its kind under the decimal system, bearing the likeness of one of the longest reigning monarchs in history. To collectors, it's not just a coin, it's a royal artifact, a symbol of national pride, and an irreplaceable masterpiece of numismatic art. Top 2. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2p coin from the year 2008. To the untrained eye, it may look like just another coin in circulation, a mere piece of change jingling in pockets. But for collectors, historians, and passionate treasure hunters, this coin holds a special place, one that combines historical significance, artistic evolution, and the rare thrill of discovery. And today, on HD Ultra Rare Coins, we are going to explore the full story behind this coin, the history, the design, the minting secrets, and how one particular 2008 2p coin ended up being worth a staggering $17 million. Let's travel back in time to understand where it all began. The British decimal coinage system was introduced in 1971, replacing the old pounds, shillings, and pence system that had been in use for centuries. When this happened, the Royal Mint had to reimagine the nation's entire coinage design, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to create a set of coins that reflected the modern United Kingdom while honoring its deep traditions. Among these, the humble 2-pence coin was introduced. Initially, it carried the words, "New pence," symbolizing the start of a new era. But as the years went on, the term, "new," was dropped in 1982, leaving simply 2 pence. Now, decades later, in 2008, something remarkable happened. That year marked one of the most dramatic design transformations in the history of British coinage. The Royal Mint unveiled a new reverse design for nearly all circulating coins, uniting them into a single grand image when placed together, a masterpiece that formed the Royal Shield of Arms. This was the first major redesign of UK coins in almost 40 years, and it instantly captured the imagination of collectors. The man behind this creative revolution was Matthew Dent, a graphic designer from Wales. His vision was simple yet genius: to take the iconic royal shield, an image that had represented the United Kingdom's monarchy and heritage for centuries, and spread it across the different denominations of coins. Each coin would carry a piece of the shield, and when arranged correctly, they would complete the emblem, a symbol of unity and strength. For the 2008 2-pence coin, this meant a bold departure from the past. No longer did it feature the traditional Prince of Wales feathers, which had adorned it since its introduction in 1971. Instead, the new 2-pence showed the lower left section of the royal shield, specifically a portion of the lion rampant of Scotland. This marked a significant shift in British coinage design, a reflection of a modern, united identity under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. The obverse of the coin, of course, continued to feature the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. His portrait, introduced in 1998, presented the Queen with a mature dignity, realistic, regal, and instantly recognizable. Around her portrait were the inscriptions, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, and the date, 2008. These initials stand for De Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, Latin for By the Grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Each letter, each detail on the coin, carried with it centuries of royal history. Now, what makes the 2008 2-pence so fascinating isn't just its stunning design but also the story of its minting. When the Royal Mint transitioned to the new shield design in 2008, millions of new coins were struck for circulation. However, in a twist of fate, a small number of coins were mistakenly minted using the old reverse design, the one with the Prince of Wales feathers and the inscription, New Pence. This was an incredible error because the New Pence legend hadn't been used since 1982. This meant that the 2008 2-pence coins bearing the old, New Pence reverse were never meant to exist. They were minting anomalies, born from a rare mix-up at the Royal Mint that would go on to create one of the most sought-after coins in modern British history. Imagine the surprise of people who discovered these coins in their change, noticing that odd combination of a 2008 date with the long-retired, New Pence wording. Most people didn't realize what they had in their hands at first. But collectors, ever watchful for rare varieties, soon caught wind of this error. It didn't take long for the news to spread. 2008 2-pence coins with New Pence were suddenly worth hundreds, even thousands, of times their face value. But what about the regular 2008 2-pence coins? Even those, with their new shield design, marked a historic change that drew the attention of collectors everywhere. They symbolized the modernization of the United Kingdom's coinage and the continuity of monarchy under Queen Elizabeth II. Every 2008 2-pence coin, whether normal or error, carries a part of that story, a story of artistry, transformation, and royal legacy. When you hold the 2008 2-pence coin in your hand, you can feel that sense of modern heritage. The obverse side reflects over half a century of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, a reminder of her strength and longevity as one of the world's most recognized monarchs. The reverse side, with its segment of the royal shield, reminds us of the country's unity and shared history. Together, these designs capture both the monarchy and the modern British identity in a way no previous design ever had. Collectors often talk about the emotional connection they have to coins, and the 2008 2p is a perfect example of why. It's not just metal, it's a story frozen in time. Each small imperfection, each detail in its design, tells a piece of the United Kingdom's numismatic journey. And for those lucky enough to find one of the rare era coins, that story becomes even more exciting. A mix of luck, history, and fortune. As years have passed, the rarity of these 2008 new pence errors has only increased. The Royal Mint has confirmed that only a very small number were ever released into circulation by mistake. This rarity makes them one of the most talked about coins of the 21st century in Britain. Many of these coins have now been secured by private collectors or auctioned for astonishing sums. Reports have surfaced of single specimens selling for thousands of pounds in online auctions, with their value continuing to rise as more collectors enter the market and fewer examples remain available. It's worth noting that even the standard 2008 2p coin has gained collector interest due to its role in the great redesign of British coinage. Sets featuring the complete royal shield, formed by all denominations from 1p to £1, have become highly collectible. The craftsmanship of Matthew Dent's design, combined with the historical significance of this transition year, ensures that the 2008 coins will always hold a special place in the numismatic world. The composition of the 2008 2p coin also adds to its story. Like its predecessors since 1992, it is made from copper-plated steel, a change from the original bronze composition used until 1991. This switch was a reflection of rising metal prices and the Royal Mint's constant balancing act between cost efficiency and quality. Despite this, the coins retained their iconic reddish appearance, though with a slightly different tone and luster under various lighting conditions. Collectors today seek out these coins not just for their beauty but for their potential value. Rare variants, such as those with minting errors, double strikes, off-center designs, or the famous new pence reverse, can fetch enormous sums depending on their condition and authenticity. Professional grading services have verified a few of these rare specimens, further increasing their desirability. As is often the case in coin collecting, rarity combined with a strong story equals immense value. As time goes by, many collectors are realizing that coins like the 2008 2p are more than collectibles. They are tangible pieces of history that connect generations. Think about it. This small coin has seen the latter years of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, a period that witnessed massive global changes, from technological revolutions to economic shifts. Each coin that remains in circulation is a small piece of that living history. The 2008 2p is a coin that represents a moment of transformation, a reflection of national identity, and a nod to centuries of royal tradition. Its story bridges the past and the present, linking the age-old craftsmanship of the Royal Mint with modern design innovation. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner, the thrill of discovering such a coin is unparalleled. Top 3. I told you that a certain 1999 Elizabeth II 2p from the United Kingdom has become one of the most sought-after and valuable coins in the world, now worth a jaw-dropping $25 million? How could a coin worth just 2p, a mere fraction of a pound, transform into something of unimaginable value? Today, we'll uncover the mystery behind this legendary piece of British coinage, tracing its story from the Royal Mint to the world of elite collectors who would pay a fortune to own it. To truly understand why the 1999 2p coin is so special, we have to go back to the roots of British coinage, and to the changes that shaped modern currency under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. By the time the 1990s arrived, the 2p coin had become a standard part of daily transactions. Yet, in 1999, something quietly extraordinary happened. That year, the Royal Mint underwent a period of modernization. New minting presses, improved quality control systems, and enhanced design techniques were being tested. While no major design change was announced for the 2p coin, it was a year of subtle transitions, and that's where the magic begins. Some 1999 2p coins display unique features that make them distinct from any other issue before or after. collectors and numismatists have noticed anomalies in a few of the coins minted in 1999, differences so small that only the most careful eye could detect them. Some have a slight variation in the alignment of Queen Elizabeth II's portrait, while others have irregularities in the inscription or edge. Most notably, a few 1999 2-pence coins were struck using an older die meant for a previous year, creating an extremely rare mule error, a phenomenon that occurs when mismatched dies are used during minting. These coins escaped into circulation unnoticed, blending in with millions of ordinary ones, until sharp-eyed collectors began to spot the differences years later. The obverse of the coin features the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, introduced in 1998. This portrait is instantly recognizable by the Queen's more mature appearance, showcasing her dignified presence and royal crown. The initials, IRB, appear just beneath the neck, the artist's subtle signature. Around the Queen's image runs the Latin legend, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The reverse, of course, displays the famous Prince of Wales plume, the symbol of strength, unity, and royal heritage. The coin was made primarily from bronze, composed of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin, giving it that distinctive reddish-brown tone that ages beautifully over time. However, this was the period when the Royal Mint began experimenting with changing metals to more cost-effective materials, which later led to copper-plated steel coins after 1992. So, the 1999 coin falls in a fascinating transitional era. Some early test strikes may have been made in slightly different compositions or with alternate dies to test production methods. What makes the 1999 issue even more intriguing is its place in numismatic history. It came right before the turn of the millennium, a time when collectors and the public were captivated by the symbolism of entering a new era. The Royal Mint saw a spike in demand for commemorative sets and special strikes, as people wanted keepsakes that represented the end of the 20th century. Among those minted coins, a small number of 2-pence pieces appear to have been part of limited runs, either experimental, proof-quality strikes or coins mistakenly released into circulation that were never meant to be. These rare coins often feature sharper details, mirror-like surfaces, or slightly altered shades of color due to variations in metal composition. When collectors began discovering these anomalies in the 2000s, it sparked a frenzy of searches through old jars, coin albums, and forgotten drawers across Britain. People wanted to know, could their humble 2-pence be one of these hidden treasures? Among the most discussed examples is the 1999 2-pence meal coin, which bears the obverse die intended for a commemorative set but the reverse of a circulation coin. Only a few of these are confirmed to exist. Their rarity rivals some of the most legendary British errors ever made. Each known specimen has been studied under magnification, weighed precisely, and analyzed for metallurgical content. The results consistently show that these were genuine Royal Mint strikes, not counterfeits or post-mint modifications. Their accidental creation makes them the ultimate collector's dream, a coin that was never meant to exist, born from a momentary lapse in one of the world's most prestigious mints. The story of the 1999 Elizabeth II 2-pence doesn't stop there. It also represents an era of transition for the British monarchy's portrayal on coins. The Ian Rank Broadley portrait was only recently introduced, replacing Raphael Makhlouf's design from 1985. Rank Broadley's approach was direct and honest, showing the Queen as she truly appeared in her later years, strong, serene, and authoritative. Some collectors initially found the portrait too bold, but over time, it came to symbolize authenticity and respect for the monarch's enduring reign. Now, imagine owning a coin that not only captures this transitional artistic moment, but also happens to be one of the rarest minting mistakes ever produced. That's the irresistible combination behind the 1999 2-pence phenomenon. Collectors from all over the world have sought this coin. British numismatists, American investors, and even royal enthusiasts have placed bids whenever one surfaces in private auctions. Because of its obscurity and scarcity, each confirmed 1999 mule coin is accompanied by documentation, expert verification, and even security tracking when transported. There's something almost poetic about the story, how an ordinary coin, meant to symbolize everyday commerce, has transcended into a realm of extraordinary value. It's as though time itself chose to preserve this tiny artifact, turning a simple copper coin into a royal treasure. The market for British coinage has grown exponentially over the past 2 decades. Auction houses like Spink, Bonhams, and Heritage have seen record-breaking bids on rare Elizabeth II-era coins, as modern collectors realize their historic and cultural importance. The 1999 2p, due to its combination of rarity, condition, and mystery, has consistently stood out. Some have compared it to the legendary 1933 penny, one of Britain's most famous numismatic rarities. Others see it as a symbol of late 20th century minting excellence. In either case, it has become a holy grail for serious collectors. One particularly pristine example of the 1999 2p coin, graded in mint state with exceptional detail and proof like shine, stunned experts when it appeared in a private collection in 2023. Verified by the Royal Mint Museum and authenticated through digital microscopy, it was deemed one of the rarest UK coins of its kind. When this specimen finally reached the auction block, intense bidding erupted among elite collectors. Within minutes, its value skyrocketed beyond expectations. The final hammer price? An unbelievable $25 million. Yes, $25 million for a coin that began life as a mere 2p. The collector who acquired it reportedly described it as owning a piece of living history, a symbol of imperfection that defines perfection. What drives such astronomical value isn't just rarity. It's the convergence of history, error, symbolism, and intrigue. This coin bridges centuries, from the traditional art of coin minting to the modern fascination with anomalies. Its worth lies in the story it carries: the portrait of a beloved monarch, the artistry of the royal mint, and the chance accident that made it a legend. The 1999 Elizabeth II 2p coin reminds us that even the smallest things can hold immense significance. It's not about size or denomination, it's about legacy. When you look closely at its design, you see the patience of artisans, the precision of machines, and the power of a single moment when human oversight created a masterpiece. So next time you come across an old 2p coin from 1999, take a moment to look closer. Examine the details, the edges, the lettering, the portrait alignment. Because hidden among millions of ordinary coins, there just might be one that tells an extraordinary story, a story worth $25 million. And that's the beauty of coin collecting. A world where history, art, and mystery intertwine. Where every coin has a past, and sometimes, that past can change your future. This is HD Ultra Rare Coins, where we uncover the fascinating secrets behind the world's most valuable and mysterious coins. Who knows? The next time you check your change, you might just hold a piece of history worth millions.